Eva, hello.
Hello.
Give us a bit of a background on you. Where did you come from? How did you end up being here?
Yes, I've got quite an unusual story in that I studied science at university, biology, and I went all the way down the path of getting a PhD in developmental neuroscience, actually. So, how do you build a brain when you're an embryo? And throughout my PhD, I discovered actually that what I really loved, beyond just working in the lab, was talking to people about science. And I did that in lots of different ways. I did lots of talks. I actually did some science stand-up comedy.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
It was super fun, very scary, but a very good experience. I ran events introducing kids to bugs in the lab, all sorts of things. And I also did bits and pieces of radio. And I really discovered that this job of getting to take these complicated scientific discoveries and translate it into an audio experience was where my sort of heart and passion really lay.
Amazing. And the incredible coincidence was that suddenly we got a brief for a podcast about brain science, and there you were.
Yes, it was very convenient, I think, for all of us involved.
It was.
Yeah, so it's really wonderful getting to take sort of my knowledge as a neuroscientist and translate that into picking apart research all around the world relating to how we build a brain and how your brain grows and changes throughout your life. When I get on a call with a scientist and talk in detail with them about their work and think about how I'm going to turn that into a story that's going to bring the audience in, I love it. It makes me so happy to find the trick to the story.
And do you think that the academic background, the sort of academic process, helps in the planning of what we do as well?
Yeah, I would say absolutely. When you're doing a PhD, you're really running a project. It's like a 3-year or more long project with lots of moving parts. And at the end, you write up, this big book that summarizes everything you did. And actually, partly just the plain old organizational skills involved in running something like that. I definitely look back at the beginning of my PhD and my original notebooks and what they became by the end, and I see how much I grew. But also, in a specific sense, my knowledge as a neuroscientist means that when I'm dealing with these, when I'm reading scientific papers and when I'm speaking to scientists, not only can I, sort of understand the science, but I can see where we want to pitch a story for the average listener. So I think that having that academic background has really, really helped me more than I might have predicted, actually, in what I'm doing now.
And did you always have a creative side as well? Because obviously doing the storytelling around the science means that you do have to engage both the academic and the storytelling creative side of your brain as well.
Yeah, what's really funny is I feel like I've gone round in a circle in my life, in that when I was at school, I was reading all the time, I was in all the plays, I did lots of dancing, and I'm a terrible singer, but I did lots of singing, and that's where my heart really lay. And then I discovered, had a wonderful biology teacher, and I was like, wow, this is actually really cool. And then I took that, as I said, to the furthest extent and went all the way down this hardcore scientific route. And now, at the end of the day, I've managed to sort of bring together the two sides of my personality. I'm when I'm writing a script or choosing a sound effect or thinking about what music is going to bring some audio to life, I feel like I'm getting to go back to some core part of my creative self. But now I also have this scientific knowledge that I can use to create a story around that too.
And where do you see that going? Because I think it's an interesting area for podcasting in general. But why podcasting? For you, why aren't you going and making videos or writing books? Why audio?
Yeah, why audio? I think, to be honest, audio is what I consume. And I know that the reason I consume audio is I can listen while I'm living my life. I'm listening while I'm cooking, I'm listening while I'm walking or cycling or sort of constantly have headphones in my ears. And I feel like you're allowing the story to become integrated into someone's everyday life. And that's what I like to consume. So for me, I feel like it was, I didn't know what a podcast was in 2015. No. And now I get to create them, telling stories that are interesting and relevant to everyday people.
I love the idea that somebody goes for a run where otherwise they would be staring at the road or looking at the sky. and they can listen to your work and feel like they've gone for a run, and they're also massively smarter at the end of it.
Yes, absolutely. And I think I always used to think, oh, if I was exercising, I'd need to listen to music. I need the, the punchiness of it. And actually, I discovered that's not true at all. I can listen to an audiobook, or I can listen to a podcast while I'm lifting weights, and I feel like, oh, I can come away from a gym session and I can feel like I've both really enjoyed what I've been listening to and I've worked out. And I think you just can't get that with really any other medium.
It's difficult to read a book whilst working out.
You could try. I used to read books walking home from school, to be fair, when I was like a nerdy 11-year-old. So,
Eva, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fresh.